Have you hit some shots? I'm going to take a look at the data you're getting with your current clubs, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about bounce, grind options. Are you familiar with bounce and grind at all? Have you done a fitting for wedges before?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So my goal today, obviously, I want to get you to the spot we want to be in, but I also want to have you learn a few things along the way too. So I'm going to give you as much info as I can. All I want from you is just a little bit of feedback, how the club feels, why it feels that way, and then we'll go from there. So go ahead and hit a couple shots. I'm going to gather some data for these and see what you're working with the current set, okay?
All right.
All right, great swing. How long have you been playing for?
11 years.
11 years, nice. And where do you typically play around here?
I'm a member at Aliso Viejo.
Nice, very cool. It's a great course. And is there any like outstanding problem with these wedges right now? Or are you just looking to get the latest and greatest, upgrade the grooves, get a new grip? Yeah, okay.
Basically
nothing that really stands out to you on those?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, looks great. And so that's a 54 degree, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is your average yardage right around 100 typically?
Yeah.
Is that like your number for it?
105, yeah.
Gotcha. Just judging based off of what I'm seeing on the first couple swings, we play a little bit of a draw typically, normal ball flight? Okay. And that's the one you want to focus on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. You still got great spin with it. I mean, how old are these wedges?
Probably 4 years.
4 years? Yeah, they're still spinning great. I mean, you're a good ball striker, so you're going to be able to compress it and get the spin numbers you want out of it. Just want to see if we can tighten up some of the side spin and notice some of them going a bit right. Get a little bit more control out of it and more consistency on your carry numbers here. So that looks great. So obviously with wedges, turf interaction is really important. I want you to feel how the grass feels, but obviously we don't have that today. We don't have bunkers for you to hit out of. So best thing I can do is just ask you the right questions. We have something called the Vokey wedge fitting system. It's gonna go through all the questions that I would ask you normally, and it's gonna get us to the spot we need to be. It's gonna basically recommend a few different bounce and grind options for you. And it's also gonna recommend, you know, gap wedge, all the way up to lob wedge. You said you want to focus on sand wedge and lob wedge today, right? Okay, so it's going to throw out a couple different recommendations, but I just want to go through it because, like I said, anything I'm going to ask you right now, it's going to ask you already. So, and just answer these as honest as you can. Do you carry a handicap?
I do.
Okay, what's your handicap right now?
2.3.
2.3. We'll just go 2. Loft of your pitching wedge, you said you're playing T200s?
Yeah.
So 43. Okay. And then what's the highest loft of a wedge you want to play? Because right now you're in a 60.
I'd keep a 60.
So that's the highest?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, most people don't need a 62 degree. And then this is kind of a tough question. I obviously can't answer it for you, but typical divot pattern, is it, you pick the ball pretty clean? Do you get down on it pretty well?
Depends on the shot, but I'm mainly picking it pretty
Mainly
clean,
picking it.
yeah.
So do you think you're a sweeper or more neutral?
More neutral.
More neutral, okay. Yeah, that's where most people find themselves. It's a tricky question because every shot's a bit different. So these I'm not as concerned about, but we'll answer them. Pitching wedge, gap wedge, you doing full swings mainly?
Yeah.
Anything around the green?
Not much.
Okay. And then these ones here, sand wedge, full swing?
Yeah.
Around the green?
A little bit, not as much.
Okay, you'd like to be able to? Do you typically open the face on it?
No.
Do you use it out of bunkers?
No.
No, okay. And then lob wedge, is it all of them?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Now, condition of your fairways on your, you know, Aliso or wherever you're typically playing?
They're pretty neutral.
Pretty neutral, okay,
Yeah.
not too firm right now. And then typical bunker conditions?
They're slightly firm.
Slightly firm, yeah. All that moisture we've been getting in Southern California isn't helping us.
Nope.
And then confidence out of the bunker is the last question.
My confidence is pretty high.
Pretty high?
Yeah.
You say all the way to 5?
Yeah.
There you go. A gamer. All right, so that's pretty much it. Now it's gonna recommend a couple different bounce and grind options for you. So it went based off of your pitching wedge. I know you already have a gap wedge in your set, which is fine. We weren't really concerned about the gap wedge today, but based off of the gapping that you have, it's recommending the 54, 12D, and the 68M, which is pretty similar to what you're playing right now, right? You're playing a 54 and a 60, right?
Right.
Awesome, okay. So it's gonna keep it pretty consistent. Not gonna need to relearn your yardages by going to a 56, although you can keep that in consideration and try it out. But let's start with the 54 12D on just a couple of 50-yard shots, and then I'm gonna move you back a little bit to wherever your max number is for your 54, okay? Okay, go ahead and try that one out. That's the 54 12D And you said you're pretty familiar with bounce and grind and how that works? Okay, awesome. Have you played with Vokeys before?
I have not, no.
Awesome. And this is, again, set up to 50 yards right now, so put yourself on the course and give me your best 50-yard swing. And like I said, I'm gonna go through all the numbers and we'll look at what it's coming back at. I just want you to give me as much feedback as you have, okay? So how the club feels, weight, length.
It's a little heavier than I'm used to.
A little heavier, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, Vokeys typically play a bit heavier. That's personally why I like them. It helps slow my hands down a little bit, especially around the greens on those touchy little chip shots. There you go, that sounded great. And do you typically use your 54 for these kind of shots, or do you use the lob wedge?
Depends on the green, but it's mainly 54.
54, okay, so you typically knock it down a bit.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What are you using your lob wedge for typically? Is that just your get out of jail club? You get in trouble, you use that club?
It's like a 30-yard shot, 30. I'd say.
Okay. So 30 yards and in, or if we're, we need to take it high.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Okay. And for these right now, these are typically like a one-hop stop for you?
Yeah.
Does it check pretty well on your currents? Okay.
Yeah.
How'd that feel? I know they're a little heavier than you're used to.
They're a little heavier, yeah.
Getting through the ball, it felt good?
Them, yeah.
Okay, so it is easier to compress it. Good. Awesome. So I'm gonna move you back a little bit. We're gonna go to a full shot now, okay? So about 100 is where your 54 goes, roughly?
Yeah.
Okay. So I wanna see how this feels compared to where you're at right now. I'm gonna dunk it on the first one. Ooh, nice shot. Those fresh grooves are spinning at 11,000.
Yeah.
That one came back on us a little bit. Which obviously it'll take some time to get used to the fresh grooves. You're gonna have some balls ripping back on you, but you'll get used to it over time. That looks great, Parker. Great shot. How's it feel in those full swings?
A little more spinny than my other wedges, which is nice.
Yeah, no, those fresh grooves are definitely gonna have your ball stopping a lot quicker, if not just coming back a little bit too, which like I said, it's gonna take a little time and may frustrate you a little bit out there just because they're gonna have some that come back more than you're used to, but that's gonna benefit you. Even around the greens too, in those little chip shots where you normally have a bit of run out, you're gonna see some stopping now. So you're gonna be able to play a bit more target golf with your wedges, which I think is gonna be really nice for you. So weight, length, everything felt pretty good there?
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah, they're gonna be a bit heavier than yours, and I can see on your ball flight, it's going a bit straighter too. I think the extra weight is straightening out your shot a little bit. It's not allowing your hands to get involved as much, so I really like that. And what's your typical, you said anything inside of 30, do you use it for anything longer than that?
Yeah, I'll hit a 80-yard shot with it.
80 yard, okay, so that's like your
90.
max is about 85 or 80 yards?
Yeah.
So get a couple swings in with that. I just want to see how the grooves are performing and see if it's the same ball flight we had with your 54. Almost 100.
Yeah.
There you go. And is this one, if you full swing it, typically zip back pretty well, or does it just stop?
Yeah, it zips.
Okay.
If I'm trying to compress it, it'll take a hop and then just stop.
Okay.
But if I clip it, then it'll spin.
It'll spin back on you. I gotcha. All right, this is gonna be the 68M. Right now on tour and consumers, the 8M grind on the lob wedge is the most popular one that we make. You're gonna see most of those on tour. And get a couple swings in with that. I kept it at 75 yards. We're gonna move back from there. Go to some 50s, maybe some 30-yard shots.
It's going a little further too.
Yeah, you're getting more out of it. And I think with what we did this year with the SM9s is we moved some weighting around in the back to get you more of a flighted ball. Go from, let's say 30 degrees of launch down to, 27, 28. And keeping the spin where it's at, so it's coming in lower, staying under the wind, and checking on the green really nicely. Yeah. That's the goal, at least. Yeah, back at 12,000 there. Wow. Does the weight feel okay on it?
Yeah, it's a little heavier.
A little heavier? Okay. Yeah, it just looks like your face is closed on these. And I'm sure that fresh grip is helping you keep a nice grip on the club too, so it may be shutting the face a bit. Nice swing. And one thing I'm focusing on here, Parker, is your lie angle. I want to make sure that we have that dialed in. Right now, it's not deviating enough up or down for me to change it really. We'll look on some of the more of your pitch shots too, but right now, if you look at that one, 0.1 up, I can't change that. I can't make it any better. That's why that one went dead straight. right? If the lie is coming up, toe up, heel's gonna drag, it's gonna make you shut the face. If it's coming in toe down, it's gonna open up the face. So we wanna make sure we get it as neutral as we can to maintain ball speed, maintain the ball flight that we want, and just to catch it a lot more flush. So we're gonna go back, you said use it 50, 30 on a couple of those shots. Okay, so we're gonna go about 30 yards here. Give you something that you're a bit more comfortable with, just to see how it feels. All right, this is a 30-yard shot. I know this one's...
Yeah, it rolls off the club face.
Yeah, and you can hear it too. You're catching it a lot cleaner, you're picking it cleanly, and the spin is maintaining really well.
Definitely sits more true on the ground.
Yeah, and that's just gonna be a result of the grind that they have on it. There's less heel and toe relief on that one. It's typically meant for more of a square face.
Yeah.
That's why this one, being the most versatile one that we make, is definitely the most popular. I just wanted to get an idea of if you like the feel of that one more. Now, do you like that more traditional sitting look? Because everybody's different.
Yeah, it sits a little like flatter.
Flatter, okay.
Lower to the ground. The other one
you
is...
can hold them side by side here and see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. And that's just because if you look at it, this one's got, it's all shaved off right here. This one's a lot more square.
Yeah.
It's a lot flatter throughout, so that's why it's looking like that. It's because there's toe and heel relief here. I hit a couple more. Still, I'm favoring this one, but doesn't matter what I think, right? It's up to what you think. So just feel how this is going through the club. You still liking that one over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was the 10S, just a different grind, different bounce. You know, there's a reason that one's the most popular on tour right now, and you know, also with our consumers. So it seems to work best for most people. Very well-rounded, very versatile, so. All right, Parker, we just got back from the repair center. What I did, because I can't bend lefty clubs, unfortunately, I went and bent this 2 degrees flat, because if you see right here, lie angle on that last shot and a couple other ones, I can see your toe coming up a little bit. Sometimes what that does, for somebody like you that tends to miss right, if you do, you tend to overturn it a little bit or pull it. What can happen is the heel hits first, and what happens when the heel hits first is the face wants to shut, right? You're getting friction on the heel, so it's gonna wanna try to shut. So by going flat, it could turn that pull miss or overdraw into something that may just stay out to the left a little bit more, stay a bit straighter. It's just an experiment. I just want to try it and see how it feels. So again, give me as much feedback as you can. I put you at 100 yards here, your normal stock yardage for the 54. And just focus on feel here. I'm gonna look at the ball flight and see what the numbers are saying, but give me as much feedback as you have.
Feels a little better.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think once you got used to it, the first kind of went left a little bit.
Yeah.
Now that you're getting used to it, it actually looks pretty good. I like how it sounds. You're getting through the ball well, ball speed's maintaining, and your ball flight is exactly what it should be, a little baby draw. I'm actually starting to like this more and more, Parker. How does it feel? I mean, that one you just hammered, which does show me that this may be working, right? If you're starting to gain a little bit of distance, it's not necessarily what I wanted, but it shows me that you're getting through the ball better, which is gonna raise your ball speed and give you a little bit more distance on top of it. Which isn't a bad thing, but I am liking the ball flight I'm seeing. I lost that one a little left, but I personally think I like this, Parker.
Yeah.
Does it feel better?
It definitely feels better.
Yeah, so what I would try, because wedges are so easy to bend, I want to have you try it at 2 flat for a little while. Like I said, you have 90 days. Take advantage of our 90-day policy. That's why we have it. The lie angle is just something I can bend back really quickly. So I want you to try it at 2 flat, which just brings the toe down a hair, just to get it more flush with the ground, get a little bit straighter of a ball flight and tighten up our dispersion. If you start to see that your ball is staying out left, you're not able to turn it over anymore, you're hitting fades when you don't want to hit fades, I want you to come back in and we'll hop back in the simulator and reassess where you're at and see what your ball flight's doing. But take a couple weeks to get used to it because it is going to be a different feel, and see if you start to get a bit tighter in your dispersion. But other than that, we're good to go here.
Thank you.
Anytime. And if you need to do any other fittings in the future, just give me a call. I'd love to help you out.
Great. Thank you.
Great job, Parker.